So Somalians are trying to drag black Americans into their fight. Check this out.
But Trump based his order on a report whose author has made it clear that his goal is to denationalize and deport as many Somali Americans as possible. This is not about crime. It's not about safety. This is about purging people like me from this country. Minnesota has always been a welcoming place for people fleeing a home country that is based by war, poverty, and hunger. Europeans in the 19th and 20th century, black Americans from the South, Hmong.
That was a call for allyship, and they threw the race card out there. We're all black. What happened to I'm not black, I'm Somalian? And what happened to the call of allyship when y'all was scamming Minnesota out of hundreds of millions of dollars? They only pull out the race card when it's beneficial to them, because before this, they'll tell you, you're jealous because Somalians are driving Priuses. And there's no allyship when they taking advantage of all these government assistance programs. HUD, public housing, they're not going to let you in their building that they're in. And these are the same people that will tell you, if you black American Somalians will say, hey, my people came over here in planes and your people came over here in shackles and chains. Keep that same energy. I respect that. Since me and my peoples came over here in shackles and chains in a ship, I'm porting my ship right here. This is where I'm going to port my ship. Don't use black as a race card. Don't use black when it's beneficial. Keep that same energy. You not black, you Somalians.
Why did I see a tweet today talking about the fact that Trump is targeting Somali people in Minnesota is going to put black Americans at risk? I don't think so. I think that black Americans and Somali people don't look anything alike, first of all. Second of all, they don't even consider themselves black.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat, am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs. We're in the Arab leagues. We speak the Arab language. We eat the Arab food. Bro, think about it like this, bro. If a whole community doesn't regard themselves as black, we can't be black, bro.
Somalis are not black. Now, before you disagree with me, I just want to say, listen, right? There's no such thing as the term black. The term black only came about in colonization. I don't have to accept that, sahib. That's why the other day when I was in a place, someone said to me, are you black? I said, I'm not black, sahib. I don't accept that term.
Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black.
You think that a person, any person, can't tell the difference between a black American and a Somali person? I don't think so. I think that you can tell the difference between a Somali person and a black American person. Like, I really do. And I'm just saying.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Profess. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm telling you, man, Somalis in Minnesota are begging black Americans for help. These are the guys who actually like to consider themselves not black. Yeah, why do you actually need help from black people? Because you claim you're not black. Even back in Africa, these guys be claiming they Arabs. They don't claim that they're African. They want to be Arabs so badly that they say that Somali people are Arabs, not Africans. You know, if you go to the country, you'll find that like only 20% are actually lighter skin. Only like 20% of Somalis in Africa, in their country, are of lighter skin, but the 80% of the rest, actually, they have melanated skin. We have seen Somali pirates here. You know how they look? Have you seen them light-skinned? No. That's because majority of Somalis in Somalia are actually melanated, but these guys don't actually like that. And now, since they're being deported and their TPS program is being revoked by the Orange Man, whom they voted for, by the way, because they thought that conservative policies were better than the Dems. Yeah, now they're finding out real hard that voting against your best interest doesn't really help anybody. But let's take a look at these videos, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that like button. Don't forget to leave me your opinions down in the comment section below. I'll be back with more commentary after this. Let's take a look.
First, the Muslim community in Dearborn, Michigan fucked around and found out. And now the Somali community in Minnesota is about to have the same revelation. You all remember when the Somali community in Minnesota endorsed Donald Trump over Kamala Harris in the 2024 election? Allow me to refresh your memory.
Here gathered today with community leaders, business leaders, and youth leaders from the Somali community and from the Muslim community in Minnesota to fully support and endorse President Trump. Some of the key issues of the community are the global wars, family values and education, economic issues, and the inflation. With all these and a number of other issues, the community came together and fully standing behind President Donald J. Trump. Yes.
Minnesota is home.
Yep, some of us tried to warn you. We told you. Donald Trump was a xenophobic racist. And the minute he got the opportunity, he would show you all. Well, that opportunity has occurred. Not only did he say the following, but he also plans to step up immigration raids in the Somali community in Minnesota.
I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too.
Now, I'm sure I could probably say some profound statement about casting your lot with xenophobic racists and expecting the xenophobic racists to elevate you against other people who look like you because you endorse them. But I digress.
Trump is calling for the deportation for Somali people, and he is sending ICE into the Somali community. Black people, you might want to sit this one out. Even though you can look at the Somali people and see that they have black, brown skin, you cannot tell them that. They say they don't look like black people. The culture is different. They don't want anything to do with blackness and black culture. They do not fuck with black people, and they get mad if you call them black. And the sad part is this is deeply rooted. They are taught this shit in the churches, in their communities. Just take a listen to how they talk about black people.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, most of them were the product of one night stand. One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed. And because the marriage will limit them, they will go from one to another to a third.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat. Am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs.
Are you guys black? Are Habesha people black? I would consider. Okay.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it.
Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black.
Somalia, which is barely a country, you know, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage.
Now, I'm not saying all Somalis feel like this. And I'm not saying that what Trump is doing is right. All I'm saying is I'm going to just sit this one out. Do what y'all want. But let me know what you think in the comments.
Yo, wait a minute, man. This is what they be talking in their mosques. Behind closed doors, they are talking shit against black folks, against black Americans, talking that black Americans don't know their father. What do you mean? And now these guys are actually trying to bring the racial card because they need now black Americans to come and help them, to come and rescue them. This is exactly what all these immigrant groups actually do. You remember the other day, Latinos were actually doing the same thing when they discovered that black Americans cannot be deported. Yeah, when it actually benefits you. You want Black Americans' help. You want Black Americans to come and bail you out. That's exactly why a lot of people are saying, man, okay, the orange man is actually doing some real stuff actually there that they don't agree with, but they're gonna sit this one out. Why? Because you all don't feel the same way when it doesn't benefit you. Let's keep watching.
So apparently the Somali crew called Feeding Our Future was able to steal $250 million just by threatening Minnesota officials that they were going to call them racist if they didn't keep the cash flowing. And it worked?
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what it is. America has turned into a bunch of PUSSYs. You mean to tell me you let these people extort you for $250 million in 1 year because they threatened to call you a bunch of names? Are you for real? Whatever happened to sticks and stones? May break my bones, but names, whatever. Listen, let me tell you something. You so busy trying not to be the bad guy. You don't want to be the villain so bad that the pendulum has stretched and swung too far to the other side. And that is the problem. That's the problem. You don't went from, well, you know, this is the land of the free and then people can come and get the American dream, to the American people are paying taxes, so we have to pay for everything, including our own thoughts. And you let these people come in here and tell you what you gonna do, or they're gonna tattletale on you. Man, y'all tripping. You better get your head out your ass, America. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Listen, this is what it is. If you don't like it here, if America is racist, if America is all these different things, you are more than welcome to go back to either where you came from, or you can go back, or you can go to another country that you think is going to treat you better. It's not a big deal. Get the fuck out. You don't have to stay here, whore. What the hell is we doing over here? So you mean to tell me we got veterans on the street living homeless? What is beeping on this thing here? We got veterans on the street living homeless, but you're going to give $250 million to a bunch of people that's not supposed to be here? Man, we got to get this shit straightened out, and we got to do it right away. I'm sick of this shit.
There are truths we have not been saying out loud. Number one, go to Somali malls. Cash only, no receipts. That's sus. We got to say that out loud. Number two, Somali tax accountants. They say, oh, you have no taxes today. That's sus. We got to call that out. What? Yeah. Trucking, Somali trucking companies cutting corners. That's sus. Let's not do that. Appreciate that. Let me keep going. Yeah. Helping each other lie on forms. Like it's some sort of community service we're doing to each other. What? Yeah. And recently I just saw a Somali sheriff, police officer, saying that he only serves the Somali community. What are you doing? You're an American. The whole citizens is your duty to protect and provide great, excellent service.
This is good. I respect him for saying these things, especially out in public, being willing to call your own people out. I understand that because I do it. Many Black people will complain about being stereotyped. Well, people shouldn't stereotype us and blah, 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 blah. That's wrong and they shouldn't do it. Okay, well, you had your wishful thinking. Now let's get back to the planet of reality. They're going to stereotype until we give them undeniably reasons or undeniably good reasons to not stereotype us in that way. So rather than complaining about what they shouldn't do, let's change our behavior to where the stereotypes start to change. Same thing here. If people want Americans to be more comfortable with the Somalis in Minnesota, then they should work on doing things that don't make the public uncomfortable. More specifically, things that are morally bankrupt or wrong, like this creator was pointing out. I think if he does that, there's going to be less animosity towards that community. I think there will be less fraud and less money being taken from taxpayers in an unright way or unfair way. So I think it benefits everyone. Taxpayers are getting scammed less. People are not looking at Somali people with side eyes out in Minnesota, and people start to focus on other things. I'm not saying many of these people shouldn't be deported. Many of them absolutely should be deported. But it is good to see a Somali man come out here and start saying, hey, we need to do this, 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 and this better. Because with his mentality, I don't care if he's in the country. Cool, I'm glad you're here. He seems like a quality contributing member of society with moral standards who doesn't want to take advantage of Americans and the American taxpayer. Glad you're here. Welcome in. Let's get after it. I'm not focused on the skin color. I'm more focused on the type of person he is. And he seems like a quality person. I could be wrong. That's just one post. I'm just basing it off that post. He seems like a pretty good dude with pretty good morals. And the courage to step up and call your community out, because it takes courage. So yeah, I think what he's doing is good for the people in Minnesota. I think it's good for the country. I think it's good, better for race relations in the country as well. I think all around it's good. So hats off to him. Also, don't forget I have a free email newsletter I send out every morning at 7 a.m. The link to that is in my profile. Just go there, click the link, drop your email in, hit subscribe, and you'll be good to go.
All right, guys, there you have it actually. And this is exactly what a lot of people, especially black folks, black Americans, and even Caucasian Americans do not agree with Somali Americans. Is the fact that these guys come to America claiming that they are actually running from a country of war and instability, file for asylum, get that refugee status, and then you want to isolate you all. You want to isolate yourself in a country that is not your own. And instead of actually trying to integrate with the people of that land and be grateful that you're not back in Mogadishu in Somalia, where the rest of your people is actually suffering, you want to look down on the very people who are actually feeding you, and you want to take advantage of the system and steal from the system over $250 million of money stolen through fraudulent claims. This is unacceptable because you're taking advantage of the American system, and in return you want to look down on black folks, black Americans who actually fought through civil rights movement to make sure that everybody was equal in that country, because you are actually there because of them. You should actually be thankful to black Americans. And this is not only happening with Somali Americans, it's happening with the Latino community. We remember when back in February, in March, when a lot of Latino communities were actually being deported, these guys started calling out black Americans for not actually helping them, begging for help, begging for black Americans to come and stand with them in solidarity. Yet during the ballot box last year in November, they didn't want to associate themselves with black Americans. They wanted a seat at the table with them Caucasian people. They wanted to be accepted by the orange man and his party. But they overlooked every red flag that there was, because these guys went ahead and called Puerto Rico a pile of garbage floating in the ocean. And Puerto Ricans are Hispanic. That could have actually told you something of how they feel about you. The only thing that they needed was your votes. And as we have seen in this video, the Somali community in Minnesota actually did the same thing. They went ahead and voted for the orange man for claims of economic claims, but I don't think so. It's because of, we know that. Racism, hatred, looking down on black Americans, thinking that black Americans, did you see those claims when they are behind closed doors in their mosques? What they be talking about? Talking shit behind black folks' backs. Be a man and say it in public, and let's see how far actually you get with that. But let me know, guys, what do you think about today's episode? Subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit that like button. Don't forget to let me know your opinions down below in the comment section. I'm your presenter, Profez. If you're new, of course, I'm gonna have to ask you to consider subscribing to this channel and be part of this growing community. Thanks for the super chats and the membership and supporting this channel. All right, I'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.